Hello, our friends. We're back. This week, Alan has more exclusives from Gator Guard sponsor. And
Sponsor.
I have a mystery box winning from John's Comics with Kids. But first,
Hello, everybody. We're back. Like he said, our sponsor is Gator Guard Comics. Go
sponsor.
check out Gator Guard Comics. Link is in the description. They got some great products that'll help you screw your books so CGC doesn't. And you can also pick up some exclusives that I will be showing off that everybody's going to. You could have a chance at winning. As well as, if you're ever in the Augusta area, please check out ABX Comics and Games. They will help you out with all of your nerd needs. And I can say it because I'm a nerd.
Yes, you are. Not a jock like myself. All right, Alan, you want to start us off since we're
Sure.
talking
I'm going to show off some of these great books here. Okay, so Gator Guard, they hit me up. They said, "Hey, what's your address?" And I sent them my address because they forgot it. It's all good. Sent it back to them, and they sent more exclusives to give away. It was so great. He said, "Here's a bunch of exclusives for you to keep / give away. We're going to give them away because that's what we do." First one is one that we've already given away. It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 143, the Shredder cover. Then we have Miles Morales Spider-Man number 7 variant with some Venom action going on.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a really cool cover. And then last but not least, and the March giveaway that we will be giving out the first week in April. This is Spider-Punk Arms Race John Jang exclusive. Yes. You can now go get this exclusive at Gator Guard Comics, or you can see if you win it this month by just commenting on all of March's videos.
Does Mark have this one?
No, not yet. I got it before he did.
Sure.
I got it. I'm pretty sure he will. I got it before he did. So, and other thing that I got was I picked up another print from our friend Shop. Shopper did the Shopverse, made everybody into characters, and is continuing to do so, still building the Shopverse. Well, he has taken it a step further and started putting people on comic book covers. And he sent a little note out to me. It says, "Thank you, Alan, for the amazing support during the past year and a half of the Shopverse project. Love the content and community support you put out for all. Take it easy, Shop." And we, as you know, he made me the Punisher, and he went ahead and put me on my Grail, which is ASM 129, first appearance of the Punisher, which I have back there.
That's cool. I like that.
You got to get a frame. This will be going up. Yeah, that is really cool. I believe he put you on a New Mutants cover.
New Warriors.
I'm sorry. Oh man, I'm sorry. Oh man,
get it together, man.
I'm fired. I'm done talking.
Well, folks, John's Comics with Kids was raising money, selling chances to win a mystery box. The money went directly to Keep Jen Reading. Community member. I wasn't too familiar with her. Really, John's side of the YouTube verse is a lot older than my YouTube participation has been. John's been part of the YouTube for a long time, and Jen is part of their group. And unfortunately, she has cancer. So to keep Jen reading, this keeps helps defray medical costs and all the stuff we all know. Having somebody you care about that has cancer is a part of, bills and being able to still do the things you want to do while going through that. So I wanted to support. I bought a chance on the wheel and I won. I won a mystery box. I've already opened it. got these awesome stickers. Got a really nice note from John. Good dude. Let's start, Alan. This one, trade paperback of an event. This I actually picked this because I'm giving it to a friend of mine who's just slowly getting into comics. I worked with the guy anyway. He said he wanted to read Civil War. I noticed John had it in the stack of trades. Little does he know he's going to have to watch Speedball die in the first few pages. Tough stuff. Then he doesn't state that. Then
of course not. No one does.
Every box. I have this book. Now I've got it again. E is for Extinction was a really cool moment for me because I got to go to the con that these guys first showed up at to like promote this issue. New X-Men 114. Yeah, 114. First appearance of Cassandra Nova, getting some Deadpool 3 buzz. Next, so he like curated these, which I think is really cool, and that's how I found out about it. Was he was doing a thing on his channel, one of his Saturday morning shows. He was like, help me make these boxes. And so you got a complete story. This is Scouts Honor issues 1 through 5 from Aftershock. So we can assume the people who made this didn't get paid. We have all 5 issues. So I will read that story very soon. And then here, I think you would call this the GP for the box. Like, each one had a classic issue of X-Men in it. This is 106. X-Men 106 got this book. Good looking book, though.
Pretty clean?
Yeah. I always liked this one because it's where Angel rips his Scott's visor off.
Yeah.
S Colossus. And then finally, I got a 9.8 slab. This is a negative space JTC.
Ooh.
And we've got the White Queen. Pretty cool looking book. I'll be honest, the one I wanted when I first saw these was the green Polaris. I think it's a Nakayama cover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That would have been the one I would have picked. But hey, this is a really great it's a really great set.
That is a really nice box.
Yeah. And the money went to a good cause.
Yes. So we have a question from Tom, a new viewer, one of my friends. He's just getting into comic book collecting.
Tom, any friend of Alan's is a friend of Alan's.
So,
but I'll answer your
one of his questions was our views on the cost of getting books signed. So
I'm gonna let you go first, Alan, because I've been talking for
Okay, there's a couple ways to look at it. You can look at it on I look at it from 2 different perspectives. I can look at it from my perspective as the collector and wanting the signature, right? And then you can also look at it on the side of the, let's not even just say creator or artist. Let's just say famous person, because this is not, signatures aren't just from comic book artists. I mean, we want signatures from everybody, wrestlers, football players, singers, actors, so on and so forth. Well, look at it this way. Yes, that person has put themselves in the public space by doing something they love, most likely, and something that is profitable for them. Yes, they get paid for what they do, but this isn't like a full-time job. There is no 401k for them. There is no retirement for them. They need to make money when they can, and especially comic book artists, because I mean, I'm sure they get paid well. I don't know how much they make, but I'm pretty sure they get paid well, but they still need to make money. They still have costs that they incur. So I feel that they should charge for a signature. I don't think they should be free. If they want to give one away for free, that's cool. And then charge $5 extra, or if they just want to charge $5 for every one of them. And for the CGC grading, they usually charge more. Right? It's usually like 25. It's usually $10 to $20 more
or
if you're
upwards.
or upwards if you're getting it CGC. Now, sometimes that could be them providing the witness. If they provide the witness, then that's fully. You don't have to do the legwork to go get them. But I mean, just look about it this way: you're coming to that person. You're not necessarily making money, but you are off of that person, because when you get a CGC Signature Series graded comic with that person's signature, it instantly bumps the value of that book. So I can see why they're charging more, because you're making money off of them. So I can see them charging for that. So that's, but as the collector, no, I don't want to spend an arm and a leg for a SIG, but I'm also not taking 10 books up to a person for them to sign, because I think that's egregious. Because usually those lines are long. Take 1 to maybe 3 or 4. Don't take 10. No, don't do that. Don't be that guy or that girl. Or
I've been on both sides of it.
Don't be that person. So, I am
all
done.
Right.
Go ahead.
I think it's a good question, because I know people who think it's absolutely ridiculous, because SIGs used to almost unilaterally be free. When I broke in to going to cons, they were still mostly free. There was a few people that charged. For the most part, no, it was always free. That was 2001 was my first con. And I'll say this, cons used to be cheaper. I remember a 3-day pass to the number 2 con in the country, which at that time was Chicago Con. They were the second biggest con in the country, right behind San Diego. Arguably, once NYCC became a thing again, Big Apple wasn't number 2. NYCC probably took over at some point. Philadelphia was kind of a big deal when they hit the scenes in the mid to like 2004-ish, 5-ish. But when I started going, it was Chicago was number 2. And everybody was free. Nobody charged. They also, it cost $40 for 3-day pass. And hotels weren't $300 a night or $200 a night. The companies paid their artists to go, or creators, I should say, not just artists. They paid creators to go. Like, you were financially incentivized to be at these, to represent the company, and to have signing times, to pump the new books. That's all changed. Comic Cons became a business. Chicago Con got purchased by Wizard World. Reed Pop bought the rights to New York. They bought the rights to Emerald City. They built C2E2. Fan Expo, they're a big deal. Cons like Planet Comic Con, cons like Heroes, Nickel City, Niagara Falls, cons where there's like just a few people or one person who owns it, that's not a big thing anymore. And now that cons are businesses, they're, a lot of creators are paying to be there, paying to have booths. Costs go up. They might get an incentive to be there, but a lot of these guys are paying for their booth space, paying for their own hotels. Maybe they get lucky and they get a free plane ticket, but even invited guests, aren't necessarily covering. Now, some people, like if you're a bigger name, you have a guarantee. But a lot of the people that you're going to see aren't being financially incentivized to be there. So they have to, you got to make ends meet. You got to sell a product. Also, signature grading has made signatures more valuable. I remember it used to be like when I was learning about going to cons, my first con I got 67 signatures. I remember that number. I ran around, I got signatures from everybody. And the guys who were mentoring me were like, "Whoa, slow down." I took an entire short box with me. There was stuff I didn't get signed. I I cornered poor Chuck Dixon with a bunch of Robin and Nightwing books, and he signed over 20 for free before he finally said, "Kid, you're killing me." Yeah. So I was that guy. I was really I was excited.
I get that.
I'd
I
been
understand. I
reading
understand.
I'd been reading comics since I was 11. I was at this point 20, 21 almost. And this was finally my chance to get to meet my heroes. So, yeah, I was a little over enthusiastic, but certain keys I brought with me, I was told by like the guys who were teaching me, they're like, "Don't do that. You're ruining the value of the book by having them sign that." This is back when a lot of the older school guys would still sign on the first page. And it just wasn't seen as anything that increased the value of the book. Even Stan Lee Sigs didn't really increase the value of the book. Grading has changed all that. Yellow labels have changed that. It is an industry now. I don't begrudge anybody who charges. I also do appreciate the people who appreciate us. Somebody like Mark Wade who says, "Hey, first book free, $5 after that, 20 if you want to grade it."
That's actually
That's
very. I
fair.
think that's if you. I mean, I don't even. I'm okay with paying $5 per sig. I'm okay with paying that.
Oh,
I
I
am.
paid more.
Yeah.
I don't, guys like Neil Adams and Rob Liefeld, they were charging more than everybody. They were charging when nobody was charging, and they both took a lot of crap for it. Um, Rob Rob's done an entire podcast on it, and he said the reason he did it was he learned the value of his brand early on, and he said if I charge everybody and I don't give my sig away, and he even was one of the first people who figured out how to tier his sig. He's got his quick sig and he's got his chisel sig, and he charges different prices for those. Like he basically figured out very early on, I can make myself a brand by just differentiating value. You don't want my signature, that's fine. He's like, you don't need to own a Lamborghini. He uses that a lot on his Whatnot show. He'll
Yeah.
say, "We ain't $2 Chuck here. This is a Maserati dealership." Now, whether or not you agree with him, you decide if you want to pay for it. But as we've learned, there are lines of people at every con that are willing to pay Rob those prices.
And I think Rob charges 60 for a sig now, right? Just the regular sig.
I
House
think
sig.
through his CGC app, it's what he charges. His base price at a con is 50,
Okay,
and he
50.
doesn't charge you more for slabbing, like at a
Okay,
con. So, like
but
if you're
still, I mean, honestly,
witnessing, it's the same
people
price.
if you want his sig on a particular book, Rob Liefeld happened to have a in-house signing at CGC coming up. Just let everybody know that. But if you want his book, and I know Beckerman shops and whatnot, and I am dabbling on it here and there, even though I'm not supposed to, but I'm controlling myself. But the thing is, you can get a very nice Rob Liefeld book signed at a very good price on his whatnot shows.
Yeah. Alan just picked one up. You'll see it in a future episode.
And I paid less than what it cost for his signature, and the book is signed.
Yeah. And it came with the book.
So it's you can do that, and honestly, a lot. And like I said, there's no 401k, there's no retirement for these guys. They need.
Well, I mean, if they choose to have a 401k.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, they could, but you know what I mean. It's not built into your employment plan.
Well, and I would say being at cons isn't considered, part of being in a company anymore. Like,
no,
most guys don't have staff jobs at companies anymore.
Mm-mm.
All these guys are freelancers anymore. It's not like the days where you had a Marvel contract. You know, some people do. Some people have Marvel contracts, but most don't. And some people have DC exclusive deals, but most don't. And is it really fair to expect a freelancer to not charge for their signature or their art? I mean, I remember when sketching was free too, or at least a lot of them were small sketches and stuff in books and stuff. That was just considered, you know, part of going to a con. But cons became a business, signatures became a business, art, you know,
Well,
fan art
there's
became a business.
another artist that has tiered their signature, Clayton
Clayton Crane.
Crane.
Yep,
Hmm.
I knew as soon as
Yeah, I
you
mean
said tears.
he's one of my favorite artists, but I mean it's got to be a crazy book for me to want to get him signed it, just because there's
Yeah,
a
I
bunch of
don't
them.
really want him signed anymore. I've got several,
Yeah, I
and I
got a
was able
couple.
to get them before the prices went silly.
Yeah, I got
So,
lucky and gathered them in different ways. So, but it's yeah.
but thanks for sending that question in,
Thank you,
Tom.
Tom. We appreciate
We're
that. Keep
over
them
20
coming.
minutes, which is way too long for us.
Way too long usually for us. We're usually at 12. So we're gonna go ahead and jump. Excuse me,
Okay.
hiccups. Jump out of here, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, everybody.